I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the curly, little crown in there, the curly maple. So because this maple is rough sawn, we got to establish a flat edge there. I just kind of ripped off some of that there, but we've got a belly in it right there, I can see. So we got to get a flat edge, some end reference point both ways here. And we'll do that with the hand plane. So it's a little bit of a belly, a little bit low in the center. Not very much. Well, that feels pretty good right there. Use the straight edge and there we are, flat, no light. So I got a personal message a couple days from one of my subscribers, a young man by the name of Justin, and he asked me if I would make a video on putting together a starter woodworking toolkit. And I thought that was really an interesting idea, and I've thought about it a lot for the last couple days, and I think I would like to do that. I guess the thing that it's hard to know is, of course, you know, there's so many levels of quality in that. You know, how much does a guy have to spend? What's reasonable for someone to spend on a hand plane? What's reasonable for speed square and that type of thing? Is it a better idea? Is it more realistic to go buy new things versus restoring some old things, or a combination of that? I don't know. What do you think? You know, what's amazing about traditional woodworking, and I'm not an expert. I'm self-teaching myself. But how many tools you actually need? It's so small. I mean, I could almost say we could do it with a dozen. Leave it to a dozen, but what's the price point? You know, what's reasonable to spend on a hobby with everything else demanding your money? Is it $200? Is it $250? Is it $500? You know, what do you think is reasonable for, let's say 12 tools, and these are not power tools, these are traditional woodworking tools, and what I'd have to do is I can't go say used, because it's just not reliable. You don't know. I mean, one guy might find a great number 4 Stanley plane, the other guy might look for years and never find one. So we have to look at new things. But where I would start with this is this is a plane. You've probably seen me using it the last few videos or so. This was sent to me by a subscriber, and there was no note inside, so I don't know who sent it. And I love this plane. It's the new Stanley Sweetheart number 4 bench plane. These are on Amazon for $125, and that's a lot of money. But I'll tell you, it's so much better than, sorry Lou, this was my old go-to plane. This was a Stanley the Craftsman series. This was the low end, and I've used this one for years, and I've built lots of things with it, and I thought it was just fine until I got this one. I'm going to keep it. I'm never going to get rid of this one, Lou, but it's not to be compared with this one. It must be a third heavier. It's got more mass in it. It's bigger. It's really well put together. And I know, you know, if you go on the forums, and I've even heard Paul Sellers talk about this, that, oh, I'm not impressed with the new Stanley planes. And I don't know how much of that is truth, and I don't know how much of that is just elitism. Because that's why I don't like forums, because, you know, it's so easy to say, oh, if you don't go buy a $500 handmade plane, you're not a proper woodworker. You know, I mean, it's just so and you know what the deal is the guys who say that, they don't have one. You know, they're just fanboys of something that they saw in a woodworking magazine or watched in a video. By and large, guys that have it usually don't talk like that. I don't know about any of that. All I know is that this is a great plane, and it's the only one that I would have. If I could get rid of all this other stuff and I wouldn't really miss it, to be honest with you. For what I do, you know, I'm just, that's all I'd need. I use it for everything. I don't even use a low angle block plane. I use this. It just seems to be the perfect for everything. But if you wanted to start right there, I just could not recommend this enough. I'll put it in my Amazon store at wranglermart.com. It is expensive, but man, it is this combination with the Stanley Sweetheart 750 plane, little chisels, little 4 chisel set. That's a great start right there, and you'd be about $200 into those too. But the rest of the stuff is actually pretty cheap. So to lay that out, I've just been just pushing this flush with the back here, and bringing these together like that, making sure everything's lined up. With that moving around, and then we can transfer that mark. You want a very sharp pencil. Well, that maple is some hard wood. Let's see how we did. Now, all you forum guys, don't hate. I'm an amateur. I'm not a professional here. Let's see what we got. I'm doing my best. Pretty good. So you see, I see a little bit of gap right there. Let's just take that over to the plane, and we'll just take the tiniest little bit off the bottom there. I mean, if we're going to do it, might as well do it nice, right? These are those 750 chisels. These were the kind of the classic chisel. This was the finest back in the day, or one of the finest. And Stanley has remade them. This is the Sweetheart, the new Sweetheart chisel. So they're not quite as thick and heavy as the old ones were. And I don't think that the steel is as good, but they're still really good. They hold an edge very good. Just need a little bit. Oh, careful with that corner. Tear it up there. Let's try that. Let's see how we did here. That looks better. What do you think? That's nice. That's a good joint right there. You can live with that. The other side's really close. It just needs a little cleaning up in the corner. That's the deal when that's the problem when you lay out with a pencil. A pencil lead is just too thick. Should use a layout knife. I got a little bit lazy there with it. Boy, it's, how they have the term, you practice medicine or you practice law. And the reason why they do that is that each one of those topics is so vast that no human being would ever be able to master one. And the idea, though, is that you would is arrogant. And so they refer to it as practicing, because you're always practicing to be better. You could always know more, right? And I think that term should apply to tradesmen as well. It does apply, especially master woodworkers, that you would practice. You would never be able to reach perfection. But there's no reason not to try to do the best you can. That's the meaning of life right there. Same with the other side, just at least I'm consistently off, just a little bit off the bottom. Some of you have been asking about how the new filtration system's working, the new fans, and I really have noticed a huge difference. I'm also, using my HEPA shop vac connected to the back of the tools that I'm cutting, and that makes a big difference as well. But I guess the most tangible thing that I could tell you is that my glasses no longer are no longer covered with dust. I've been in here for 3-4 hours or so, and before I'd have to clean my glasses every hour or so, just covered with dust, and they're just perfectly clear. So I think that's a pretty powerful testimony to the effectiveness of the filters.
July 16th, his third choice was risky at best, he warned. The decision, however, was driven more by the availability of explosive lenses and detonators and by pressure from Groves than by the weather forecast.
So I've got my 7 holes drilled in here. These are 1 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to use a jigsaw and very carefully trim those out. All right, friends, we're ready to assemble it. Man, I can't believe how much different this one looks than the plywood one. Man, that is really nice. I like simple, clean designs. Just love it. Okay, so let's glue this up here. Like this. Actually, let's do it this way. Put some glue on here. Use an 1.5 inch pin nails here. Stick it together. All right, let's see how it works. It sure turned out nice. Doesn't that look nice? It's simple and clean, and that 1 1/4 inch is a good size. It seems to fit a wide variety of things. Now you can see, so here's the advantage of having the kind of a standardized shelf, is that you can put them together and the tops all match up. So you can, just if you wanted to change it or you wanted to use it for something else, it's kind of nice, nice to have that. Let's put everything on and see how it looks. So we got our belly drill, bit and brace. These are kind of a hard thing to, I kind of set it up there so it would fit either way, whatever I wanted. That's the ratcheting, the non-ratcheting. That works really good. Let's go with the these guys here. Maybe just turn them at a bit of an angle there like that. We got our big Yankee screwdriver. I don't think we're going to have time to get into trying that out. We'll do that another time. Okay, it goes in there. And that pretty much rounds it up. Now, I wanted to be sure and have plenty of room, shelf space, to keep everything together. Keep the bits up here, as well as Granddad's old bits there. Those will fit there, and maybe a little box for little, we'll organize those a little bit better, but those are right up there for now. But I think that works out pretty good. And Mrs. W is here. You come to see me? You have good news?
No, I have no news.
I like your new coat. Where'd you get that?
I got it at the thrift store.
The thrift store?
The thrift store.
Is it a Pendleton?
I don't think so. I think it's like an old JCPenney
Oh, it's White Stag.
white stag wool.
That's made in Portland.
So I have some bad news.
What's that?
Our mailbox got knocked over.
By the snowplow?
Yeah, just the black, on our porch was the black plastic mailbox portion on top.
So the whole timber frame mailbox is destroyed?
No, it looks like it's still up there, but I didn't go inspect it to see if it's been damaged.
No.
But the mailbox itself is.
I don't care about that.
I care.
I guess we have a,
I didn't put that in the emergency fund this month.
I guess I have another video. We woke up this morning to another wintry day on the homestead. 31 degrees, and it's been snowing now for probably about 3 hours. Starting to accumulate. I really thought we were through all of this. Yeah, bad news with the timber frame mailbox. The snowplow did hit it. So, I don't know, maybe in the next video or so we'll go out and take a look at that and see what it's going to do to get it repaired. He was, I guess, kind enough to take the broken shards and put them on our porch. So, man, our family has been really hit with some sort of a terrible bug. I have been sick for 3 days. 2 nights ago, I was up all night. I couldn't sleep, but none of us are feeling well. Jack has got it first, and then I got it. Mrs. W has it, and bad. What it is, I think, is Jack goes to we homeschool, as you know, and Jack goes to a co-op of other homeschoolers once a week for science classes and different things. And every time he goes, we get those dirty bugs. He brings them home, and I guess that's just the way it is. What was I going to talk about? Okay, so in regards to, do I have that right? I feel like my brain is just in a big fog right now. I was surprised how many comments. There were some guys that were genuinely upset with me that I used that beautiful curly maple on a project of such a mundane project. I guess something that they didn't deem it was special enough. And I disagree with that. I was certainly not showing any disrespect to the material. It seemed to me that building something that a small shelf in my wood shop that I was going to enjoy that would house family heirlooms, bits or braces that belonged to my grandfather. There was several tools that were gifted to me by subscribers. I thought that was indeed appropriate to use a nice material for that, but that bothered me a little bit. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't have anything else to say. Keep us in your prayers. Hopefully we'll be feeling better tomorrow, and we'll see you guys on the next video.